I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, but you can call me Shells, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video, and won't bluff, I'm actually very excited for this game upcoming this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars for a number of reasons, but I would be lying if I said that there isn't one reason above all else that makes me really excited for this game, and that is to see what I've been told is the greatest quarterback of all time, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, I've been seeing his name everywhere. I've been hearing his name. I've been seeing it on my TV screen. Who is this dude, Gardner Minshew? I see this look he has, and he reminds me of another guy that I know kind of well, and a guy that I'm semi-familiar with. He has some kind of crazy outfits, his persona, his whatever it is that he's portraying in the media or during these sessions. Reminds me of another guy in the league. He's injured right now, but Gardner Minshew is put in a much more positive light for his kind of out there personality, his kind of out there fit styling. I don't know what to call it, whatever it is. I don't want to get too much on that, but I noticed a few similarities between a couple guys and a few differences in the way they are perceived by the public. We will get off that because Gardner Minshew, apart from whatever it is he got going on with the jean shorts and this Uncle Rico swag he has, he looks to be, I don't know, kind of decent. 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception since Nick Foles, who was supposed to be the Jaguars' savior, he went down. Gardner Minshew has looked, I can't lie, I can't put it any other way, he's looked good. 69% completion rate for this whole year or for the first 3.5 games. Like I said, 7-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, almost at 1,000 yards. I mean, his stats look good. His stats look good, but this Jaguars offense is very, very confusing for a number of reasons. First off, for how good Gardner Minshew has looked and has been, the Jags are 22nd in the league in passing yards per game at 228. That's weird. But they're 6th in the league in rush yards per game at 135. So which of the, what do you think they have more of? Rush touchdowns or passing touchdowns? You're wrong. They have 0 rushing touchdowns and 8 passing touchdowns on the season. I have no idea how those two stats flip-flop like that because it goes against what you would probably think in your head. I mean, 6 in the run, no running touchdowns, 22nd in the pass, but Gardner Minshew is 7 for 1, and he's not really getting a ton of yards per game. This is going to be a test. This is going to be a test because our defense is looking like it's going to be a little bit lacking. And when I say a little bit lacking, I do mean probably a little bit more than a little bit. We know K'Wan Short is out. K'Wan Short's out for the rest of the season. He's on IR. He's getting his shoulder surgery pretty soon, so he's not coming back. With it depend on either Kyle Love, Vernon Butler, or Brian Cox Jr., who he just pulled up from the practice squad. Except he made the team last year, but couldn't make the team this year. Doesn't matter. We need someone on the interior of this D-line to do something. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be tough because, like I said, with these numbers here, it's very hard to decide how you want to attack this Jaguars offense. Now, really, keep it real with you. This Jags offense is kind of strange because it works really well in the run. The pass isn't all that great, but they allow a lot of hits on the quarterback. They've allowed 23 hits on the quarterback in these first 4 games. And to go along with that, Gardner Minshew was sacked 5 times last week, and 2 weeks ago, he got sacked 4 times. That was the Broncos and the Texans, both of whom have a really good pass rush, but they're not us. I mean, we're the number 4 overall defense, number 1 passing defense, and we're tied for first in sacks. So what I'm seeing is a kind of weak offensive line that allows sacks semi-regularly. Now, will we see a sort of drop-off? Maybe, with KK not being in the game. Now, we didn't have to do too much last week against the Texans. They have one of the worst O-lines in the game, and Deshaun Watson was holding the ball, and he was inaccurate. I don't think we're going to see the same thing from Gardner Minshew, especially since they have Leonard Fournette, who is also one of the best running backs this season, he's been putting in work. There's no other way of putting it. Leonard Fournette's been a workhorse on the ground, and he's been one of their most important receiving threats this year. I think only he and Christian McCaffrey are the two guys who've gotten, I think, 90% of the rushes and 20% of the pass attempts, the targets. So we're looking at a situation where we might be seeing a mirror kind of effect of what kind of offense we're going up against this week. There are a lot of similarities between what the Jaguars are looking at, what they're doing on offense, and what we are. They're going to definitely feature Leonard Fournette. And there's more than just the whole, Leonard Fournette's good. There's a whole other storyline here because 3 years ago, back in the draft, there was a huge question. Do you go with Christian McCaffrey or do you go with Leonard Fournette? But I'll get more into that a little bit later on in the video because I do have a lot to say about a lot of things with Christian McCaffrey. Talking about this pass offense for the Jags, don't get caught up in their rank and whatnot because DJ Chark is a good receiver. DJ Chark was one of my favorite guys coming out the draft. I believe it was last year. He was obviously going to be really good. Stuck on the Jags, I thought it was kind of like a career suicide. Not suicide, but like he gets stuck there kind of in purgatory. They didn't really have much going on for them. Blake Bortles and then Nick Foles goes down. But like I said, Gardner Minshew has come up a little bit. But last week, Gardner Minshew got hit in the knee by Bradley Chubb. And at least Wednesday, Gardner Minshew was taking limited snaps in practice. And Josh Dobbs was taking some snaps with the ones. And look, Gardner Minshew had to come back in the game with a knee brace on. So we don't know what exactly kind of condition Gardner's going to be in. Will he play? Most likely. But will he have less mobility? And will his game plan, will his psyche be the same if he were to get hit again? I'm not saying go hit low, but when you have the number one passing defense and the number one defense for sacks on your schedule, I don't care if you're home or away, that might get you a little bit, although I'm not going to lie, Gardner Minshew, I don't know what goes on in his head. He's a kind of a weird dude. I won't touch that one. But I think this will be sort of an equalizer here. I don't want to boost the man saying he's like the greatest of all time or saying that I'm all that really scared of Leonard Fournette. But I will say that as of right now, our run defense is not all that great. So we might be a little bit more susceptible to the run than we'd like to be. They might let Gardner Minshew take a back seat in this game if Leonard Fournette gets going. And just like Christian McCaffrey, like I said earlier, there are multiple ways to get this man going. All you need is an intermediary. You need one guy to get the ball to him, and that's all it takes. So we're really going to have to find out and scheme the right way for Leonard Fournette between, are we going to have a safety on him? Are we going to have a nickel on him? Are we going to use Shaq maybe to shadow him? Whatever we do have to focus on Leonard Fournette because he will be featured heavily in this game. But like I said, I want to get to Christian McCaffrey because Christian McCaffrey, I know, is the number one running back in the league at this very second. Full stop. End of sentence. That's all I got for you. Christian McCaffrey is one of the best in the league overall. But there was a tweet from Joe Person recently, put it up right here, that got me very, very concerned. During a media session, Ron Rivera said on Christian McCaffrey, I think his load is what it needs to be. First off, pause. Second off, what? You think that Christian McCaffrey's workload needs to be 99%? You're telling me even when we were winning that game against the Texans, we couldn't have brought in Jordan Scarlett or Reggie Bonifant to run up the middle? You're telling me that in that blowout against the Cardinals, we couldn't bring in one of our backups because we were still running up the gut with Christian McCaffrey late in that game, week 3, when the game was already in hand. So you're telling me that Christian McCaffrey needed to be in all those plays? This to me tells me one of two things. One, Ron Rivera has this man on he has him on his fantasy league. Ron Rivera is in a $1 million fantasy league, winner take all, and he got the first pick and he got Christian McCaffrey and he is winning that $1 million. Congratulations, Ron Rivera. If you own Christian McCaffrey on your fantasy league, you won it. Don't even worry about it. But two, this tells me the coaching staff thinks that Jordan Scarlett and Reggie Bonifant are essentially useless. If you're saying that Christian McCaffrey's workload is what it needs to be, in the context that his workload is 99% of the snaps, we're not even taking him out for blocking reasons, then you're telling me that you do not trust the guy you drafted in Jordan Scarlett or the guy who showed out in the preseason who's been on the team before in Reggie Bonnafon. Full stop. Again. And that's where I'll leave it. The coaching staff does not believe in Jordan Scarlett or Reggie Bonnafon. But apart from that, another important part of the offense, maybe even the most important part of the offense, is the offensive line. And I feel like in some sense, I should have led off with this. I can talk about how the Jags have 13 sacks this year. But that's not all that important. We know about Myles Jack, Calais Campbell. Look, they've got guys up and down this roster. Yannick Ngakoue is a good one as well. Look, the Jags defense isn't what it used to be, but it ain't trash. Let me tell you what it is. I might catch a little flack for this one. Our starting right guard, gone. Starting left tackle, well, we did. He's gone. He wasn't even our starter. He got put in because our first starter wasn't good enough, and I don't even know how to put it. But we have a 6th round draft pick left tackle playing left tackle, and we have a right tackle who got injured last year, got moved to left tackle, couldn't play that position, so now he's playing right guard because our starting right guard, who's a really good right guard in Trey Turner, is out. Dennis Daly, Greg Van Roten, Matt Paradis, Darrell Williams, and Taylor Moton. That's our O-line. I have faith in 3 of those guys. The other 2 might be a problem. I'm not going to sit here and boost it. Look, I'm a Panthers fan, but I'm also realistic. Do I believe against this pass rush that Jaguars have that our O-line unit, which is 31st in full pass block win rate over the first 4 weeks, is going to do something? Only 40% of our snaps we've had full pass block wins. I don't know what to tell you. But if that wasn't enough, we have to also compound our offensive line concerns with the fact that our quarterback, who has looked impressive, Kyle has looked impressive. We just watched this man shake J.J. Watt out of his socks. This man hit him with a whoop whoop. He was bobbing and weaving. Kyle Allen shook J.J. Watt out of his socks, shoes, trousers, whatever it was. This man did. He was like, where'd he go? But he also asks another very similar question. Where did the ball go? When this man Kyle Allen gets hit, that ball be leaving his hands. And I don't mean for a nice little pass up the field. Kyle Allen will fumble. Alright? Strip sacks have been an issue. When I say issue, I mean a huge problem for this man Kyle Allen. 3 strip sacks last week alone. We've lost a ton of fumbles on hits to the quarterback, and I have all faith that during these practice sessions we've been working on Kyle Allen and his ball security. We're going to have a very, very good plan in mind for this game because this defense is coming. They know we have big problems on the O-line. They know our quarterback has been fumbling lately. I'm not saying he will fumble a bunch in this game, but I will say the trend is not looking good for us. So they're going to be very, very aggressive, and they've got the players to do it. Like I said, Yannick Ngakoue, they have Quincy Williams, Calais Campbell, Josh Allen they got just this year. There are guys up and down. Like Myles Jack, look, man, we know who they got on the team. Secondary is kind of garbage. Jalen Ramsey is probably not playing, which is a very, very good sign. Jalen Ramsey does not want to play for these Jaguars. Thank you. But they got AJ Bouye and whatnot. But secondary is an afterthought for me because I don't really look. I think Kyle Allen can handle them. We're going to have to do something with this defense, with how aggressive they're going to be. I expect this defense to be blitzing a lot, which means probably quick passes, probably Christian McCaffrey, probably some screens, probably some pre-snap motion slants from Jarius Wright, maybe even Curtis Samuel. We're going to have a very, very quick passing game because that pocket will be collapsing with all expediency. And like I said, I do not have a lot of faith in this Jaguars secondary. So the plan of action is almost the same as what it's been for a while now. Strong defense, aggressive defense from the Panthers with quick passes and featuring Christian McCaffrey a lot. We might see a Christian McCaffrey versus Leonard Fournette show. I think our defense can neutralize Gardner Minshew to a certain extent. He will not have a breakout game against our defense, even with guys out, and Dante Jackson might not be in for this game either. That could be a big issue, although Ross Cockrell did look very good. Now, Brian Burns and Eric Reed did both go out of the Texans game. Both came back in. Both were, I think, limited in practice a little bit coming up to this game. But I got faith in those guys, too. They're probably going to play. But if Eric Reed can't go, my captain, Colin Jones, old captain, my captain will be ready. And I've got faith in him. Other than that, though, I think we actually win this game. I won't call it a blowout. I'll probably say this is going to be a game we might see a lot on the ground. I want to go low scoring-ish. I want to go 17-23 Panthers. That's all I have for you guys, though. What are your thoughts? Stat predictions, score predictions, who shines, who doesn't? What do you think will happen? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.